Beautiful Friday. Happy Friday, best agents. This is Shanita Johnson, and right next to me, right there, see her? Oh, well, if y'all listening, y'all can't see her, but if you're watching, this is Friday Focus with Best Real Estate with Broker Kaye Thompson and me, Shanita Johnson. So today, as always, we are bringing some news that you can use in your real estate business. And first up, with no delays, we're gonna get right into it. All right. So first thing we want to talk about is FHA has released updates to the 203K loan mortgage program, right?
Yes.
If you are not familiar with FHA 203K, it is a loan that you can use for purchase or refinance of a property. Before there was a cap on the amount that you could finance if for rehabs and purchase, but that amount has been extended from 35,000 to 75,000. Another change or update to the FHA 203K loan is that the time period now, instead of having 3 months, you now have 12 months for repairs to be completed.
Right.
Now, and there are two different programs, two different types of under the 203K. So the limited product is only for minor remodels and nothing structured. So that would be more so for the updates that you would need, or if you're doing a refinance. But the standard is that's where you can get the purchase, buy a property that needs some extensive rehab or some work done or some updating. And that's the standard product that you can use that people are probably most familiar with when it comes to the 203K loan. So why is this update important to us? It is important for two reasons. One, we know that the housing supply is very low and we have so many people who want to buy, but there's just not enough inventory. With this update, it is now possible for our buyers, to find a property that may need a little bit of work, that's in a neighborhood that they want to be in, or they can get it for bottom dollar, right? They can go in, make the repairs that they want, and it can truly be a custom home especially with the increase from 35,000 to 75,000. And we can increase buyers. So what do you have to say about that, Broker Kaye?
Well, I have to say, I love that they extended those programs. And I think as real estate professionals, we need to do a better job of promoting that particular product. Because number one, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but there was a recent study that was done that says that the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in the city of Memphis right now is about $1,129.
Yep.
So if someone is able to, pay $1,129 for a 1-bedroom, surely they have the resources to be able to cover the price of a mortgage. And I know that people are like, with interest rates and things like that, being as high as they are, is pricing people out of, what their ideal home is, for lots of different reasons. I just think that we really need to start helping people understand truly what their need is as it relates to housing. We need to, stop. Well, I don't want to say stop, but promote just as much the opportunity to make something new.
Yes.
As we do the idea that this is already here and that it is new, and we can approach our clients who will be utilizing this particular product that same way. Like, you're able to pick the things to a degree, that you want in the property. And so if we're approaching it like that, we could probably get more people interested. Like I've always said, I know people like new, they like shiny balls, but the reality is if we don't start reinvesting in these communities ourselves, we'll have outside entities to come in and do it for us. And they are going to invest in ways that's profitable and beneficial for them and to our detriment. And so I'm excited that they're doing that. And I really think that, it would behoove us in the real estate industry to, work to promote it. The other thing that I want to say is real estate investors have been using this product for quite a long time. Actually, for as long as I can remember being an investor, I had people who used it. I have a very good friend right now who uses the loans to create long-term investments, because with the FHA203K loan, it's not hard money. It's not
regular.
It's a regular mortgage loan. It's not hard money. So it's not like you have to pay it back in 2 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're going to get an interest rate that falls in line with, what our standard mortgage products are in terms of interest. So
Right.
I just think those are some things that we really need to look at. And right about now, I think we need to be figuring out as professionals how to carve out new business in a way that's going to sustain us.
And this is definitely a way.
Yeah, there's only so much earth we can use to build on before we have, used up a lot of the resources that we need to sustain a society. At some point, we need to reuse, recycle those things. And, to another thing, this is just my personal preference, but I am a person who believes in character. I believe in character for people, and I believe in character for real estate. And when I was in college, one of those times, I think it was the first the first time, I took an art history course. And I only took the course because it was a requirement. If anybody knows me, like I'm a check off type of chick. So let me check this off, because that means I'm this closer to my goal. Right. Let me check the box. And so I needed a course to help me get to the next phase. I've always been really interested in art, but a lot of times we think about things one-sided. Right. And so I never thought about buildings and structures
as being art. Okay.
And so I took this art history class and I learned so much. I thought I was going to learn about some Rembrandt and some Monet, they was going to tell me why, Van Gogh cut his ear off.
Right.
And then give me a test. I'm like, hey, this is a great class. I got it in the bag because I know half this stuff. Right. But it was totally not, it was that, but it was so much other stuff. It was, the history of music, and so one of the things was buildings. Yeah. And I learned about, the Baroque period and the Gothic era and, those Ionic columns and all of those things, what they symbolize and what they meant to the people. And so it basically gave me a new perspective on,
structures and real estate
and the history of it.
Yeah.
And the strength that was, the strength of the buildings, of the materials they use and stuff like that. And so, I'm more of I really don't like subdivisions. I'm just not. I know that we as a whole in society, that's what everybody thinks about now, but that was never my dream of a place that I wanted to, live. And so, yeah, I just think that we need to use those products. That's a way for us to preserve the history of our city, right. To remind people of the great things that it once had. I'm on Facebook and I'm in this group. It's called Things That Aren't in Memphis Anymore or something like that. Yeah. I love that group because though I see a lot of stuff that's gone, and I'm not from Memphis, So a lot of stuff that was here when I came here is gone. You and I were going somewhere. I don't know. We were in the car, just not been that long ago, but you was telling me about some donut shop and you know what I'm saying? And so, right. So I was, and what did I say? I never saw that donut shop. So, I mean, these buildings and all these old structures, that's our history. That's, to me, a part of, the things that we experience in these places are things that make us and shape us to be the people that we are. And we can't just bulldoze it. You know what I mean? Just,
and that,
yeah.
and that's another, like you said, we have to take advantage of the inventory that is already available, right? And this 203K update, right, is powerful because not only can you purchase a property very inexpensively that needs some work, another way, like to help with the blight, we have so many properties on the land bank. You can get property, like there are so many properties on the land bank that you can pay cash for. And $75,000 to renovate a property, that is a lot, right? That is a lot. You can do so much with $75,000. So it is, as you said, Kay, it's imperative for us as professionals to make sure that we are stressing to our buyers who are frustrated that they can't find the house that they want with the number of bedrooms that they want in the, with all of the things, we can offer them this option to get something that is truly custom to them, that is affordable, that is extremely affordable. So that I'm excited about the update because, like I said, $75,000, that's a lot. You can do so much with a property. So
yeah, so much with it. And I really hope that our city and the people who are in charge, that they really start exploring alternative housing too, and looking at ways that maybe we can use these type of loans to re-improve land. I don't really know how we get to that space to even have the conversation. I'm just saying that there are tools out there for us to preserve the strength that was already existing in a lot of our structures, and we can't get distracted by necessarily all the time what's new, because what's new is not always what's best.
And I think one of the ways, and I know we need to move on, but one of the ways that one of the complaints, if you will, one of the things that discourage mortgage companies, banks from doing the 203K loan is they've talked about the process that it takes, the time period, and then there's a lack of consultants that are available, because in order to do the standard, use the standard 203K loan, you have to have a HUD approved contractor, consultant to come in and assess what needs to be done. And there are not that many. So one thing that the city could do, based on what you just said, they could give incentives for contractors to get approved through HUD, so that we can do something about the blighted properties in the city. So that's just option. Maybe we need to, as NARAB, we need to reach out to
probably we definitely do.
What's the name? Ash Cash.
Yeah,
the mayor,
Akashi or whatever. Yeah, right, so, and make them make them aware
of that. So so that's my 2 cents.
but to your point, we do have people now that can move in that area on the behalf of your clients, while other things or possible talks of expansion for the program are bubbling up. We have a contractor here in our office who has been a long time agent. So much so that most of his work is contracted. Like he may sell a house, every once in a while, but his main job is to be a contractor, and he is on the list.
That's awesome.
So if I'm not going to shout his name out, because he's like, we have greatness in our midst that they don't want to be in the forefront. So I'm not going to shout his name out, but we do have a contractor on our roster who is on that list. So that's number one. And number two, not to shout out or say one lender is different or better than another lender, but we do work with 2 lenders Sarah Wong with Guaranteed Rate, and Darletta Newsom.
Yes.
And I believe I want to say not Herb Hyman, but Andrew Key at Mortgage Investors Group. I think that's what it's called, Mortgage Investors Group. I know that they are lenders who can help your client through the FHA 203K process. And in a lot of ways, you're having to do those repairs while you're working on getting your financing finalized. So it's not like the buyer has to, they're approved for the loan and then they have to wait 6 months after before they're moved in. Depending on what the condition of the property is and the things that they're asking them to do, that would determine, the length of time. So the point of it is just we really need to be doing everything we can to add value to our business propositions. And this is just another one of those ways to do that. I saw everybody yelling about the $25,000 down payment assistance that the city of Memphis has. And I was just like, well, why ain't nobody telling them they can fix up
this house, right?
Right. I'm all for giving the gift of down payment assistance, but let's put the work in to improve our city.
Right.
And so that should be ringing just as loud as, hey, here's some money over here if you qualify, and I'm not knocking, you know what I'm saying, the program. I'm just saying, just
there
like
should be a balance.
There should be a balance, just like we discuss that and we make that a thing because we say we're helping those people that are, in a position where they need that type of financial assistance. This is a way for them to get the financial assistance they need and to rebuild the community.
Rebuild the community.
Yes. So yes. Okay. So I'm talking about that. Yes. Mic drop.
Okay.
Okay. So I had a whole bunch of stuff that I was going to talk about, and like I said, I always have stacks of stuff, and but I want to say something. I guess the best way for me to say it is nobody's perfect. Everybody is possible for everybody to learn. And as your broker, I try my very best to be on top of all the little nuances and things that can come about in a real estate transaction that can change how you think about it, something. And so one of our very faithful agents, very diligent in her work, not sloppy in the least. And not to say we have any of that going on anyway, but I'm just saying this person is one of those agents that I know without a shadow of a doubt when she comes to me, she has done all that she knows to do. Like she's not a whiner, she's a finisher. Right. And so for her to reach out to me and say, hey, this is what's going on, I know it's something that I need to pay attention to. And so her and this other agent were going back and forth about time of essence. Now, I talked about time of essence with you, Miss Shanita, a couple of weeks ago, a month or so ago, and we discussed when time of essence started, right? And so what we said was time of essence starts
the day after
the binding of the contract.
Yes.
So,
regardless of when that day
is,
and that's actually what's being taught.
Thank you.
In the ABR course.
So what so now when you look at just general information about time of essence, if you go and Google time of essence real estate, they'll give you a general answer. There is no one that has a very clear stance on it. I saw a court case that just happened not too long ago where there was an argument about time of essence. And if you're not binding the agreement, time of essence can be implied. And so there was no binding of the agreement, but that doesn't mean the agreement doesn't, proceed. And so they had an argument about what constituted, and the judge had to make a decision, but that's not what this is about. I want to say, I don't want this to sound like a gripe, but as a member of our for-profit organizations, I like clearness and transparency. And I think in our country, we are not getting that on so many levels. It just makes you not trust the process. And so I have to fight a lot to trust processes from huge organized organizations. And so I digress. I'm saying all of that to say that this agent is very diligent in doing a good job, sells tons of real estate every year, very much a leader in our community. And she came into a situation where she is a listing agent on a property and working with the buyer's agent. And, when I say to you guys, when you guys say, "Kay, I have this problem," I tell you to bring me your paperwork, right? So I can see. Agent brought me the paperwork. I could tell very quickly that the agent who was submitting the paperwork was being sloppy, was doing things at the last minute, because I understand behavior like some people don't. But I'm not a behavior expert, but I have had some specialized training and earned a degree based on my assessment of behavior. So I think I'm pretty good at it. I got an A on my thesis. Let me say that too. So I think I'm a pretty good, I'm not, I don't judge people's character. I look at their behavior, what their habits are. And it just so happens that this agent that our agent was into it with was once an agent here. So I understand her habits too. Yeah. So I know exactly what happened, even though, you know what I mean? I'm just looking at paperwork because in my mind, I know these two agents, how they operate. And so anyway, make a long story short, there was an issue over time of essence in terms of the repair period, the repairs proposal, submission and resolution period. This agent put in a 4-day, she put in that her buyer was going to have inspections and return a list of possible repairs within 4 days after the binding agreement. Pretty quick, right?
Yep.
4 days after the binding agreement, this is what they're going to do. And so the agreement was signed on the 10th of July.
Okay.
Which means that the time of essence started the 11th, which is a Thursday. And I know this because I'm looking at a calendar. Even though we in the kitchen, it's a calendar on the kitchen counter. So we in the kitchen, but I got a calendar. So July 11th was the first day for resolution or the deal to commence. So she has an inspection, right? On July, I don't know, 12th, 13th, somewhere in there. Well, let's just give the lady Friday.
Okay.
She had it on the 12th.
Okay.
Okay, so on July 15th, which is Monday, our agent receives a repair proposal. So if the commencement of time of essence began on the 11th, and what did the instructor say?
The day after.
And he said, you count what?
Calendar day.
That's what he said in the buyer's accredited buyer's rep class.
Yes.
That's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the 4th day on my calendar?
Sunday.
Which is July 14th.
July 14th, Sunday.
Okay. So our agent receives a prepare proposal on July 15th at 2:36 or something like that in the afternoon. Now the buyer agent only sent one sheet when she sent the repair proposal. Our agent says, hey, you're outside of time of essence because you told me 4 days, right? And it's calendar days, right? And this certified instructor told you, who's teaching an accredited buyer's representative course right now,
yes,
that's how you count it, right? Okay, so I'm not trying to knock that instructor, because that has been the norm in our community, right? In our real estate community. Calendar days, calendar days, calendar days, right? And so I know it's been my experience as a broker. Any other brokers out there, speak up if this is you.
Yeah.
I've had countless agents call me on the weekend and say, oh my God, Kay, I got to get my resolution in today. Can you tell me how to say what? Right? And I'm like, well, I was asleep because it's Saturday. Call me back in an hour after I've realized where I am.
Yeah.
Or send me a text, and when I wake up, I'll respond.
Yeah.
But I probably got to eat some and do some other stuff too. So me and this agent go back and forth. We looking at the time and we counting the days down, and because I have the same understanding this instructor has, right? Right. So I proceed to call the other broker who is on the forms committee for TAR. And she says, yeah, Kay, I see that up there on these lines. But look in, and I'm going to show y'all exactly where this is, because y'all finna get some days off from your business. That's the whole point of this right here. So y'all finna get some days off.
Tell us what form you're looking at.
I am looking at the residential purchase and sale agreement for Tennessee. It is form RF 401. And though we have terminology, which it's basically a junk paragraph, okay, in your purchase and sale agreement.
Number
446. Okay, so I'm trying to show it to you because I want y'all to have this recorded. I don't want nobody to say Kay came up with some random stuff and then show us and we don't know and woo. So we're gonna share. I don't know if y'all can see it or not.
Share screen.
Looks like I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's dark.
It says your screen is low. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. So now I'm going to move. Okay, good. This moved out the way. Okay. So now if you look at line 445, it says, I don't know how to zoom. Help me zoom, madam.
Let you zoom. Okay. We'll just go. You're starting at line 446. Is that correct?
Actually, I'm starting at 445 because I want y'all to see what the section for time of essence says in your purchase and sale agreement. Time of essence. Time is of the essence in this agreement. So all time of essence is telling you that it is time of the essence. Time is of the essence in this agreement. Do we need that? Do we need to know that as professionals, that time is of the essence? Because they teach us in real estate school, right? So, but to me, I'm a little perturbed because what we're going to do is start with line 446E terminology. And we're going to start specifically with this part right here, in the event of a performance deadline, because all this stuff up here, I don't know, they're telling us when they're going to use entity, when they're going to use plural and entity, person, how they relate, masculine shall mean feminine and vice versa, whatever. I mean, I think that's some DEI stuff.
It doesn't have anything to do.
Has nothing to do with this. Yeah. So, terminology in my mind, those are words. So we should be getting something here about what words mean. So I can understand sort of why they put this here. But if you have a section that says time of essence, it seemed like it would behoove you to put time of essence things
under time of essence,
because no one is going to look for time of essence things under terminology. So I told the forms person,
let's read.
Yeah, that's done. So here's how y'all gonna get some time off, because it says in the event of a performance timeline other than the closing date as dated herein, date of possession. So other than your closing date, the date you're supposed to get the, the buyer is supposed to receive the property, completion of repair deadline. So that's your resolutions period. That's up at the top. It says completion of repair deadline as defined in the repair replacement amendment and offer expiration date as defined in time of limit offer section occurs on a Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday. The performance deadline shall be extended to the next business day. It literally says, in the event of a performance deadline, other than the closing date, other than the date of possession. Those things are what they are at the top.
Yeah.
But in terms of this repairs, if you are in the process of, in essence, our agent, the deadline was on a Sunday.
Based on 4 days being counting calendar days.
Right. Based on 4 days counting calendar days.
Yes.
So even though we know, for most of us know that has been the norm.
Yes.
They snuck this one in on us and changed it to
4 days excluding weekends
and
holidays, federal holidays.
Federal holidays. And it says holidays as used therein are those days deemed federal holidays pursuant to 5 USC la 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 la. In calculating any time period under this agreement, the commencement shall be the day following the initial date of the binding agreement, which is what we learn in our ABR class and what you should be learning.
Right.
Period. So the point that I'm making is that made me a little perturbed because I feel like it was pushed down and hid somewhere where people would be forced to look for it. I feel like it served the big box organizations who usually sit on these committees. So now I'm seriously considering being on the committee to help them with their organization skills because that's what my first degree was. And second of all, I just want to point this out to you guys so that my agents we can stop feeling stressed out. That we have to get repair and resolution things done on Saturday, Sunday, and holidays because we don't.
What this terminology is saying, just so we're clear,
mm-hmm.
when it comes to repair proposals, repairs,
amendments, the resolution period is for repair.
So the resolution period of the repair proposals and the agreement, right? We count we count days excluding weekends, which is Saturday and Sunday, and we exclude holidays.
So basically that particular time of essence line is business days.
So it's business days only when it comes to repairs.
Repairs. So stop calling your broker on Saturday in a huff because you think you're going to miss your repair resolutions deadline. You are not.
And that's line
446 under terminology. And when you get a call from an agent saying, you're about to miss your deadline and it's a Saturday, keep playing with your kids, going to the ball game, telling them, hey, no.
Yes.
Unless you specified otherwise, because now we have to specify that we want calendar days for that particular thing, because they're specifically telling us it's business days.
Right.
So y'all can take the weekend off if you are at this stage in your contract.
Yeah.
If you are at the resolutions period for repairs, take the weekend off. Give yourselves a break because they just did in this contract. And I'm going to let y'all know I'm going to be even more sleepy now that I know I can't be.
How can you be even more sleepy? Okay.
I'm just saying, just like I'm really going to be. Yeah. Okay. So that's my thing. That's what I wanted you guys to know is that, and to also keep in mind, this is the 2024 form that they brought out in January. We are going to have another form
Yes.
because
August
of the
17th.
changes, right? And I strongly suggest people start, if you are a TikToker or social media person, one of those people, if you're one of those people.
Get out. Stop sharing screen.
Oh yeah, thank you. See, that's why you need a sidekick. If you are one of those people that do a lot of social media, I think that's a good topic for us to talk about. We need to start preparing people for the change.
Yes.
And explaining to them what it really means. For them is nothing. That's how I see it, because I was always telling my buyers that they might have to pay me. Now, I had another agent say, hey, are you going to do any training on that?
And your answer is?
I sent them to TAR, because the president of TAR, some very specific things that she talked about, but it's very simple. I mean, what we need to just say is we are being put it on NAR. It's NAR's fault. We're being forced in terms of, getting people to show property, at least. Yeah. Getting people to sign your buyer's rep agreement. We're being forced to do this in order to be in compliance with the law.
Yes.
Every single agent that you talk to that's a realtor is going to tell you the same thing. You can have a buyer's rep agreement for one day. You can have a buyer's rep agreement for one property.
Yes.
You can have a buyer's rep agreement where you opt to not accept commission.
Yes.
They have not changed those rules. What we need to do is and then when you're having a conversation with your buyer about their resources, you should be adjusting your fees accordingly, which we should have been doing that anyway. But maybe you give the buyer some things to do themselves to save you time if they need a discount. There are all sorts of ways to work with with the people that we are going to have in our markets. And I find I'm hard pressed to believe that if you don't articulate effectively, if you do articulate effectively what your role in the transaction is, that someone would be willing to pay for your service. Right. Buyers don't have a closing attorney. They don't, unless they're Richard Scarborough or somebody. I mean, someone who right. is always involved. The average buyer doesn't have a closing attorney. They don't know the first thing about going to find one. The average buyer doesn't have a lender in mind. They need you. And so you need to show them that and then charge them according to what they need from you. And there is nothing wrong with, because I tell all my clients, hey, if we get to the end of our agreement and I don't like you and you don't like me, we can part ways. Because I don't want to continue if I don't like you. You know what I mean?
And that takes, and I know we're getting close to the time.
Yeah.
But that takes having the ability to say that takes confidence in yourself and in your skill set. To say, hey, it's not working. Let me get you somebody else.
And I'm absolutely going to do that. And I have done it in the past. And people that I have, not been able to help have still sent people to me because I was able to be honest about it. And so I just think we need to really work on being ourselves. Larry Mayoll always told me to be myself in my business. And that has worked for me the entire time. So, just be honest with people, let people know where you are. People do value other people. People do business with people that they like. And, we're going to be fine. We just need to start opening our mouths for the right things. And let me tell y'all something. I'm going to say this and then I think we're done. Yep. I want to say, if you have not had the opportunity to go through a negotiations course, yes, or to study something, some sort of negotiation method, then you are selling yourself and your clients short. Negotiation is not bullying. No. And for the last month or so, I have been talking to our agents about issues that they're having with other agents, and people are out here really trying to bully people. I cannot stress enough how proud I am of our agents for doing all that they can to keep their composure. Some of the things that I've heard that have happened to our agents in the last couple of weeks have angered me.
Yeah.
As a professional and as a human who loves y'all.
Yeah.
So, my advice for that, when you feel like, you're somebody's trying to bully you and you don't have a great negotiations class can help you to deal with the most difficult uh, type of agent. And it can also help you to help your client to navigate the negotiations process in order to get what they want. I'm always hearing agents say, well, I know my client ain't gonna go for that. Well, go ask your client and then give it to me in writing.
And I have 2 suggestions for negotiation. One, of course, NAR has the real estate negotiation expert course certification that you can take. I don't know the price of it, but that's
it's like $199. I took it.
I have that certification as well. So that's a really good
I think it's $199.
And then Chris Voss
Mm-hmm.
with the Black Swan Group. He has a book called Never Split the Difference.
Yep.
He has a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And
there's so much information.
And he has one of his negotiators, one of his team members. He specifically he wrote a book for real estate professionals, right? But if it's not in your budget to buy Never Split the Difference, or I can't remember the name of the real estate one, go on YouTube. Listen to the way that he talks through negotiation. Chris Voss, the Black Swan Group, that's the best negotiator. Like, I listened to his book. I have the audiobook. I've listened to it numerous times. And it's not just good for real estate. It's also good for life.
Yeah, because we're negotiating all through our life.
Those are two sources.
And the thing about it is, I don't know if people, so I'm a friend of the library.
Yes.
I'm a volunteer for the library. And you might go to the library and listen to some audio recording and say, that voice sounds familiar. Yes. I've been reading books on behalf of the library for people who are who can't get to the library or whatever to be able to listen.
Oh, and that's another source for
if
you don't have Audible or whatever
the Memphis Public Library, you can rent
audiobooks
from, and they'll download to your email.
And there's an app. It's called Libby. Libby. You can listen on Libby. You can listen on Spotify if you have Spotify. I do. I don't know that Apple has it, but I know Spotify has audiobooks. But anyway, the resources out there, YouTube University.
Yes.
Chris Voss, Black Swan Group.
Yes. So I strongly urge y'all, if you haven't already, to go ahead and try to get some type of negotiating education and information, because it's only going to help you. It's going to help you not to waver on your client. It's going to help keep your client strong. It does help when it's done effectively to maintain the level of professionalism between the agents. And I think we need to be doing a lot more of that, because we have a lot of agents out there who are not understanding. And so, let us be the example, because I think we already are. Let us be the example and continue to be the example of what professionalism and intelligence is. Like, I get that all the time from other people are like, oh, best agents are so sweet until they're not. Well, yeah. And then best agents know so much. So, they know more than this or more than that. And I believe it's the culture that was said before I came about. We had a leader that wasn't afraid to be himself and bring us good, solid information. And so I'm happy that we're able to carry that forward. And, hopefully we'll see some good changes in all of this unrest in terms of how we communicate with each other, is what I'm saying, as professionals, about everything from commissions to how we best serve our clients. And so that's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, go and do that. And if we don't have anything else, Miss Shanita?
I think that's it.
I think,
FHA203K,
yep.
time of the essence on the residential.
Take a day off. Definitely, if you're gonna
Salary.
repair sage, yes, and
Negotiation.
yes, and also I am still working to put on this Family and Friends Day. I had to move it down to August the 9th. So I am working to process it. I probably won't make it as big as I was hoping to, because everything needs to gain momentum, and I'm just thinking about the cost of things and making sure that we're not, like I said, we're maximizing our resources and those of our partners. So I don't want to ask for RSVP because it's a community thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just try to keep it moderate, but I would love for everybody to come. I don't care where you are in our firm. If you're primarily a Mississippi agent, if you're, coming from Arkansas, it doesn't matter to me. And I really, really want you guys to do all that you can to get your customers out, because this is a way for best to say thank you. That is really what this is. I'm not going to be having someone give y'all some spiel about some new product or whatever. There will be sponsors there. They will have stuff at their tables that you can go by and pick up at your leisure. But I'm trying to eat some barbecue and tell some jokes, and maybe, put my feet in a little plastic swimming pool, with y'all. Like, I want it to be a fun thing. This is not educational. This is just a thank you for being a part of our family. So I hope you guys can make it. I'll get more details out. And I think that's it. Well, until next time. Oh, we are in the process of working out which tools we're going to use to keep bringing you this podcast. This is hopefully our first of what will be many visual.
Yep.
We have been weekly doing a podcast every week since February. So kudos to us.
Hey,
yay. And we're gonna try to keep it going. So let us know what y'all think about this format. Yep. Let us know what you think about the kitchen, if we should keep the kitchen or move to another room. And as always, if you guys have any ideas, tips, anything that you want us to discuss, talk about, please bring it to us. Shanita just informed me that I have been broadcasting these things onto YouTube. Yes. I had no idea. Yes. See, that's why you need a sidekick, because they know stuff you don't.
So you're probably seeing us right now on YouTube. Wait, yeah, you're probably seeing us right now.
Oh yeah, like. Yeah, we're still learning that too. So, so you can go to Best Real Estate Company, find that on YouTube, and you'll see all sorts of stuff on there. I know that all of my little advertisements go out there. Yeah. Any advertisements that we do, which I'm about to run out with Tennille now, we have a new listing that we're going to put one of those sweet little QR codes in front of, and she's going to host that one. I guess I can officially say it now, huh? Yes, and she has a listing, and so she is going to be taking the reins on that. Now let me tell y'all something. This is not called Tennille and ask her all the questions under the sun about your listing. That is not what this is. She has become an agent for a very special purpose. I know that Larry is somewhere in heaven shouting, thank you, Jesus, that she finally did it. But it is, so she's not going to be, you're not going to be seeing her running all over town and not being in the office. She did become an agent for a specific reason that relates to the office. And she just so happened to get a listing from someone that she knows and loves and is willing to help. But with that being said, congratulate her, because I had to keep it under wraps for so long, and she studied so hard, and she was so diligent, and she did that on top of all the other things that she does for us. So she deserves a kudos, a congratulations, a hug, a rest from a hard question for one day, if you can give it to her, and just be there to support her in the field, make sure that y'all, if the least we can do is promote her listing.
Absolutely.
The address is 5010 Mike Drive, Memphis, Tennessee 38127. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. It's listed for $130,000 right now, and there is no taxes back there for the city.
Hey.
So it's counting on its taxes. So it's a totally renovated. It's a great first time home buyer home. Great investment for somebody that wants to come in and collect $1,126 per month, which is the average rent for our area right now. So, if y'all know somebody that's looking for something like that, please hit Tennille up. Yeah. And until next time,
see ya.
See ya and stay safe. Bye.